Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on Legends of the Hidden Temple, Episode 6 entitled The Norse Legend of Freyja. And the official synopsis of Episode 6 is: 4 new teams compete to win the chance at the Temple Run and $25,000. And before I give out my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. And when it comes with episode 6, I felt like episode 6 was a decent episode. Definitely a lot of struggles in this episode with many of the teammates. Here is my review on this episode. So the teams that are involved in this episode are the Purple Parrots, the Green Monkeys, the Blue Barracudas, and the Red Jaguars. And the moat challenge was a long and complex one. First things that they had to do was to build a bed frame, dress as Freyja, describe parts of the bed and everything, like the correct items and that kind of stuff, drag the bed out of the mold, and smash the button and move on. And it was a close game at first until the Blue Barracudas started to struggle quite a bit, so much so it seemed as if like they were about to lose and not move on. But in the end, the teams that moved on were the Red Jaguars, the Green Monkeys, and the Blue Barracudas. The Steps of Knowledge was up next, and at first it seemed like it was going to be the Green Monkeys and the Red Jaguars to play the temple games, as the Blue Barracudas was not doing squat. They didn't ring in any answers, but then they somehow in some way were able to crawl back into the game and everything. And long story short, it was a huge 3-way tie. And somehow, some way, the Blue Barracudas was the first team to advance. And even funnier was that Omeg dissed the game show Jeopardy, because he took a long time to say whether or not their question was correct or not. He was like, "What do you think this is, Jeopardy?" Which was pretty funny to say the least. But yeah, the teams that advanced were the Blue Barracudas and the Red Jaguars. The first temple games was honestly too fast in my opinion, as they had to build an altar, knock it down, well, try to knock it down and everything, pour ox blood on top of the altar, and then drink wine and everything. The first game started and the first game ended just like that, as I don't think the game lasted no less than like 5 minutes, because the Blue Barracudas was on a mission to destroy, and long story short, they destroyed that game as they finished very quickly, while the Red Jaguars was still on the knocking down altar part, to say the least. But the second temple game was a different story, as everybody freaking struggled in this game. And what I mean by everybody, I mean the Red Jaguars and the Blue Barracudas. They struggled profusely when it came with this other game. And it really wasn't that difficult, but at the same time, it really was, as the first thing they had to do was dress up as Freyja and identify dress objects to the other team member who was on the other side. And then next they had to grab a hammer as the lightning hammer, use a ball to knock down a blank person that was sitting down, knock it down and everything. And whoever did it the fastest time would win. And it was a struggle. Like the Red Jaguars, they struggled profusely. It took them nearly like 10 minutes just to finish because of the hammer ball section. And the Blue Barracudas, they struggled as well, as it took them like 4 minutes to just get dressed. But after that, they were somehow able to speed back up and win the second game. And long story short, the Blue Barracudas are in the temple game. The team members for the Blue Barracudas are Art and Chris, and the artifact location was located in the Steamy Hollows, and it was a gold torque. And the temple game, the temple run, it starts off pretty smooth and everything. Art, he encounters a few different temple guards in the Room of the Beloved and the Pit of Despair. And honestly, I still do think that it is a weird place to have a temple guard in the Pit of the Despair. I don't know why, that just seems weird to me. And he gets captured and everything. Chris continues where Art left off. he somewhat struggles in the queen's armory, and he continues to do his best. He almost messed up at the shrine of the silver monkeys, and he was like 1 second before he could grab the artifact, but the artifact was right in his face, and he accidentally pressed a button in the steamy hollows to start off like the smokes and everything instead of grabbing the artifact, which was just a "what are you doing" moment, to say the least. But honestly, that is how the episode basically ends. Honestly, it really wasn't a bad episode. I really do not have much else to say. Sadly, Kurt Fogg did not make an appearance, a cameo appearance at all in this episode. I think that was kind of unfortunate. I think how they should have done it with Kurt Fogg is either he helped out Christella when it came to some of the temple games, or he just pop up randomly in like different temple locations, not just the Dark Forest. Hopefully he returns back next week and everything else. But Olmec, this in the Jeopardy game show was kind of funny. And yeah, that's pretty much what else I got to say. So thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.